Mic check, mic check. All right, so I got this quote here that states, because to me, the present is a chance for the exercise of rational virtue, a civic virtue. In short, the art that men share with God. Book 7, number 68, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. What I got from that is just learning to live in the moment. When we exercise that every single day, you know, I believe our creativeness and our ability to think out of the box is enhanced and is improved exponentially. There's no distractions when you in the moment, when you're focused on the task at hand, on what's in front of you. And so being that you're focused solely on that shows that like you are unfazed by other distractions, other things that are not in your control. And honestly, I've been exercising that myself these past few days, but you know, I'm not perfect. I still wander off to the past, think about the future. I get anxiety, I get depressed, I feel regret, you know, but more often now it's like every time I feel those thoughts, every time I'm feeling those things, those emotions, I'm able to be more aware of trying to mitigate that and showing that all that I'm thinking about is out of my control. And so I can't do nothing about it, but just live in the moment and try to prevent that thought from happening. You know, I don't try to force it away, you know, because I feel like that builds more tension, but also I have a better perspective on how I feel when I'm depressed now, or how I feel when I'm anxious. And so limiting myself to just thinking about being in the moment and being present, it's been improving my life a lot, because it's true. What use is it to think about the future unless you like building some sort of expectation towards your goals? But then it also just brings anxiety and it makes me anxious for me. And just thinking about the past too, like I could use the past as reference, yeah, and for great stories to tell based on my experiences in the past. But other than that, what good of use does the past have for me, other than things that I don't want to be brought up anymore, things that bring my mood down when I think about it? I try to stray away from that. It makes me better, it makes me feel better. I'm more confident in myself now, just trying to be in the moment, trying to live present, and it comes with a lot of benefits. You see, I play a lot of Street Fighter, you feel me? I've been playing actually a lot of Street Fighter lately, and I used to get so angry at these games because I used to anticipate a lot of my opponents, and that used to make me fuck up a lot. I used to lose a lot. And you know, anticipation is a normal thing in fighting games. You gotta anticipate at times, but it was more so of like, I would anticipate and I would expect a certain move of mine to hit based on what I was anticipating, and that wasn't the case all the time, you feel me? So I would get angry, I would get mad, I would start fighting off a reaction and just fighting against my opponent based on my emotions, and I would lose a lot, you know, like most of the time. Even though the player might be better than me, I would lose mostly because I started fighting off emotion and I started getting angry at the game. But now like I'm playing Street Fighter and it's making me, I try to stay out of that situation. When I'm like getting angry, I try to calm myself down. I try to like be present. I try to stay in the moment when I'm going up against my opponent. And I've been winning a lot lately because of that. I don't try to play based on how I feel. I don't try to play based on my anticipations. I just try to use what I do know and try to focus on how the other player plays. And based on that, I tend to win. I tend to play better. You know, fighting games is cool. Like Street Fighter, I love that game. I used to never be a fighter person, but yo, playing that game has taught me a lot, and being in the moment as well, reading these books has taught me how to improve on myself in that game too. It's crazy how things are just all connected towards one another. It's true. Like I read this quote also from meditation. I read this book a lot. All right, so in book 7 also, he writes, everything is interwoven. I think I said that word correctly. And the web is holy. None of its parts are unconnected. They are all composed harmoniously, and together they compose the world. One world made up of all things, one divinity present in them all, one substance and one law, the logos that all rational beings share, and one truth. If this is indeed the culmination of one process, beings who share the same birth, the same logos. You feel me? Like, what I got from that quote was that everything is connected in some way. No matter how complex the world may seem, you can relate to other things based on knowledge that you receive from other sources. And it's very true. I read these books and I've learned how to play better in video games. It's crazy. I've learned how to approach life differently. I mean, that's what the books are intended for, but also I learned how to exercise better. I learned how to run better. I learned how to be patient with myself. You know, regardless of how complex the world is, in a way you could find similarities, and you could relate to many different things. And I believe that's what makes the world so unique. It's so crazy. I always remind myself that even though I may be having good times, I know it's only temporary. And so yeah, it's like being in the present, being aware of that everything relates to a certain extent is pretty cool, because I didn't have that mindset before, and I used to just be so out of it. Like my mind wasn't open yet. I was so linear when it came to thinking about things. I didn't think outside the box, and you know, when things didn't go my way, I would just be mad. But now that I'm aware of being in the moment, being present, and understanding that everything is connected in some way, I tend to like realize that I don't gotta be worrying about the past. I don't gotta be worrying about the future. I don't gotta start making expectations on so many things. As long as I'm focused on what I believe was destined for me, my goals, and I focus on working on those things, my life is good. You feel me? I'm grateful for the things that I have. I learned to be grateful. I wasn't that kind of guy before. I learned to appreciate everything that's around me. I learned to just be more like myself and be authentic when it came to talking to other people, when it came to presenting myself how I want people to see me. You feel me? As long as I'm myself and I'm expressing in my own ways how to be a better person and just not masking anything, I found out that life treats you better. You know, life is like a stock, bro. You have your ups and downs, but also like as long as you have a balance, you can maintain a balance in life too. That also improves the way you see things. You know, I have the yin yang on my wall right here, and I always look at it every time I get on my computer to just remind myself that it's all about balancing. I can't steer off to one side too much, and when I do, I know that there's still light at the end of that tunnel. You feel me? When I get too excited, I try to like still remind myself that not to get, I don't prevent myself from getting too excited. I love when I feel good and I feel hyped and shit like that, but you know, I don't let success derail me from achieving my goals. Well, at least I try not to. And when I'm feeling down, I know that there's some sort of light there that I could switch on in due time. You feel me? I might not be feeling great at that moment, but I know it's only temporary. I know it's the feeling gonna step away sooner or later. So I'm aware of all those things. It makes me feel better, and being aware of all those things makes me more present, and that's what makes me play better. It's cool. I have better social interactions now. It just makes me more comfortable with being myself. So be present, bro. The ability to be present is the greatest gift humans could ever have, bro. And being able to achieve that consistently is amazing. You find out more about yourself through actions of presence, bro. Yeah, so games, shit, I honestly don't know what else to say. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, you already know. Tune in to the kid. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, have a nice one. Happy Saturday. Peace.